What about a little gospel music to go with your Bible stories? We've found some special music near Sesbastopol during the 69th annual statewide convention of shape note singing. They used to sing this way in rural churches in the South 100 years ago. Welcome to Antioch Primitive Baptist Church in Sesbastopol, Mississippi. If it feels like you've stepped back in time, it's all on account of the music. This is the 69th annual Mississippi statewide convention of sacred harp singing.
A singing convention in this sense is not really a political thing as conventions are, or one may picture a convention as some political gathering of some sort. The main purpose of this convention is to sing and to celebrate another getting together of all people to sing songs from our book, The Sacred Harp, and enjoy them and the message that they bring.
Sacred harp singing, it's a community, musical, and social event. It emphasizes participation and not performance. There's no main director. Everybody is given a chance to lead, and it's usually a community event that, like a memorial to deceased singers or deceased community members.
A typical sacred harp singing is usually an all-day affair. But what is sacred harp singing, and how does it differ from other gospel music?
The harmonies are different. The harmony is different than singing Southern gospel music, or even though a lot of the regular hymns that we sing in our church at home, well, they're written differently and they sound different.
The melody part is not only in the top voice. We're used to hearing the melody in the top voice in most forms of music. But here the melody is in the tenor voice, and there's alto and treble above it. So if you're not used to that, you may be confused and not hear where the melody is. And sometimes there are clearly 3 or 4 different melodies, almost as though competing for attention at the same time. It disorients some people, but it's also part of what we find most interesting and engaging about it. Since there is no concept of performers and an audience, the sacred harp singing is set up so that the 4 parts are seated together in a hollow square, so they're facing each other with the basses, the altos, the trebles, and the tenors on different sides of the square. And then they rotate the leaders so that everyone gets a chance to stand in the middle, to choose a song, or one or more songs, and to lead it at the preferred tempo.
But the sound isn't the only special thing about sacred harp. The way the music is written on the staff also separates it from most modern hymnals. The unusual geometric figures on the note heads have inspired another popular name for sacred harp music, shape note singing.
We have 4 different shapes that we sing, and that gives us a way to run through the tune singing the shapes without having to worry with the words. And so we say sing in the notes or sing in the shapes. It's a way to go through that tune, get everybody in sync, and then you do the words. And it works great because you'll have a congregational singing with hundreds of people, and they will all be singing in unison, and they've never sung, many of them have never sung together before.
They're not as different as you might expect. This one is really very close to standard musical notation. The only exception is that the shape of the note head, instead of just being oval, it can be square or oval or diamond-shaped or triangle. Each shape stands for a different musical syllable, like fa, sol, la, mi. So it gives you extra information in addition to just the position on the staff.
Whether they call it sacred harp, shape note singing, or even fa, sol, la, people from all over the world have suddenly discovered this rural traditional art form. Singings have sprung up in large northern cities and on college campuses across the United States. But die-hard fans of the music feel the best way to appreciate sacred harp is in small, rural churches like Antioch Primitive Baptist. Sharona Nelson makes several trips south from her home in Massachusetts to experience the music in settings like this.
The music and the fellowship, there's something I get singing Sacred Harp that I can't get in a regular church service. And the closeness I feel when I'm matching my voice against somebody else, singing these wonderful songs. They're so, have so much history in them and so much Christian feeling. There is no way to describe it. It's an ecstatic experience when I come down here.
To me, the Sacred Harp hymnal, the songs are so stirring, and there's a power to the songs that has been lost. It's a way to go back and sing songs from 150 to 200 years ago, and even back before that, and experience actually the religious fervor that those people had at that time. I feel like it's something that's very much a part of our history, part of our cultural past, that has been lost and is now being revived. People love the experience of those songs.